To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and welcome to my world of wonder. I am alone tonight, as my beautiful wife and co-host, Mrs. Adriana Parker, is under the weather. So we will pray for her that she feels better soon. But we're gonna. She insisted the show must go on, so I'm gonna solo this one. But that's okay, because today what we're doing is basically doing a huge roundup of all the news that came out while we were on our hiatus over the last month. Albeit there is not as much as I've been adding things to our notes on Instagram for the last month, and I swear there was so much more than what I have in here, because I just went over all of it kind of before starting, and I swear there was so much more before. But whatever, it is what it is. We're still going to do it. Basically, today's video, or today's episode, is just one big episode of What's Going On in Mickey's Neck of the Woods. I suppose I should also say welcome to the new studio, everybody. First and foremost, like you'll notice, we have a new poster behind me. I'm a little bit more angled towards the camera than I used to be. We've done a lot of different things. One of the other things we've done is this guy here. I built this table. I built this myself. And we've mounted the third camera, which is technically second camera right now, in a new location. So for those of you watching on the YouTube, hopefully you guys enjoy the new setup. I enjoyed putting it together, and I think it looks really nice, honestly. So for the majority of today, though, we will probably be just sticking on this camera here. But anywho, I think without any further ado, we will go ahead and jump right in with some of the things that we got whilst we were on our hiatus. I gotta do some magic here. I'm still getting used to like the setup, and that is not gonna work. So if you would please bear with me a moment while I adjust this, because that's directly over my face. And that's not very good looking, I don't think. Although some of you may prefer it. Okay, let's see how I can adjust that. Bear with me while I click some buttons and see what happens. That's not what I want. That'll do. We'll just slide that all the way over there. Boom. That is not ideal that it goes off the edge, but it's fine. It's close enough. And I'll just scoot around this way a little bit so I can kind of look more like this. Right on. So to begin with, this was less of like news and more just something I thought was interesting. And that is that there's some cool Lego ideas out there that feature different park icons and whatnot, which is really cool. Maybe this isn't just Lego ideas. Maybe this is actually sets. Oh, it is Disney Princess sets for Lego Star Wars. What? Lego sets. So like this one is The Little Mermaid, of course. And we have. I just realized it's going to be a very heavy visual show, so maybe I shouldn't be going over this one so much. I'll slide through the photos and kind of just try to talk about them. There's like a Moana one with a Maui figure, which is kind of similar to like the Hulk one that we had in Lego a long time ago. But most people probably don't know or don't really care about the Lego stuff, but I thought it was interesting. Cinderella, Tiana, Beauty and the Beast. There's a lot of different things, but and there's a Hey sculpture, brick built sculpture, which is actually really cool, and that may be something that's on my list. But anyway, the next thing that happened, the next thing I saw was on August 12th, and the Adventureland entrance sign had been removed. Now, I have been to the park since this happened, and I can confirm the Adventureland sign is in fact back up. And every time I walked under the walkway, I smelled distinctly like fresh cut wood. So I don't know exactly what they did, but they definitely gave it a refresh. And I will say, based on the picture that I have from Walt Disney World News today over on Instagram, it does look brighter now than it did before they took it down. So maybe they just gave it a fresh coat of paint and some fresh support, I suppose. But that is back up. Then we have the construction update for the upcoming hotel, Lakeshore Lodge, opening in 2027 next to Fort Wilderness. And essentially, it looks like they have a majority of the skeleton built for the hotel. And they just have a whole lot of nothing happening at the moment, to be honest. It's really just skeletal, it looks like, at the moment. And even when I was there just a couple weeks ago, last week, kind of the same thing. There was definitely work happening, but it seems to be relatively slow going, which makes sense if they're not expecting it to open until 2027. Some A-frames. And then there's some concept art. This one is from Disney Food Blog, so if you guys are listening and you want to see it, just make sure you follow Disney Food Blog. They post this kind of stuff all the time. Let's see. So lots of concept art. All right. Next was that Halloween started on August 15th, and I did actually attend the Not So Scary Halloween party while I was there, and it was a lot of fun, although we did get rained out. So there's before the parade starts, the Headless Horseman rides down Main Street, USA, or I guess down the parade route, really. And he's got like jack-o'-lantern head in his hand. He did not do that when I was there for the party because it was raining, and if there's water on the ground, they won't take the horseman out. So that was a bummer. And of course, we're having technical issues already. That's super fun. Okay. But yeah, there's some delicious treats and lots of trick-or-treating, of course. I got my share of candy. I got a big bag of candy, and it's still in the cabinet upstairs, and it will probably be there for quite some time. This is actually frustrating that this cable is not working all of a sudden, and I do not have a spare. Well, that's annoying. Oh, of course. Wouldn't working. I unplug it. It works. Sorry for you here on the live stream. I apologize. This is kind of important for the video. I guess for the audio version, it doesn't really matter, but for you guys here on YouTube, it does. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. We're back. Yes, anyway, delicious treats. I had a big bag of candy. Got a big bag of candy. It's still up there. I did not see this buffalo chicken hand pie. I may have just missed it, or maybe it was at Hollywood Studios. It definitely says... I think it says Not So Scary Halloween party in the background there, which would be at Magic Kingdom. I didn't see that, but if I had, I would have eaten it. But it looks delicious. There was a Jack Pop and a Sally Pop, and I didn't even bother with those. I didn't really eat that many sweet treats on my trip this time. I was being very good. Of course, when I got home, I started devouring the candy I got, but lots of delicious snacks in... Oh, okay. There's a video at the end of that with Powerline Max walking down the street dancing. I didn't see anything like that, so I don't know if that's part of the scare of the party or if it was part of the party last year, perhaps. But anyway, next Disney has released some behind-the-scenes looks at the technology that'll be used in Stark Flight Lab in Disney California Adventure. That is going to be opening relatively soon. I don't know exactly when, but when that Avengers Campus expansion is finished in DCA, that will be the flagship ride over there. And it looks really cool. There was an attraction in Epcot for a long time called Innoventions. And one of the things you could do before they closed it was you could like design your own ride, and then you would basically go through like a VR ride of the ride you designed. And this robotic arm is very similar to what they used there. So the technology seems similar, except this one is on a track, so it will actually move in addition to simulating motion. So that's pretty freaking sweet. Then Kermit, Fozzie, and the Electric Mayhem appeared on stage at D23 to talk about the upcoming takeover of Muppets at the Rock and Roller Coaster. Essentially, the storyline for that is that, I forgot exactly who it is. And maybe it's up here in the next one. It's not. Oh, it is. It is. Okay, so basically, Scooter's uncle bought G-Force Records and signed the Electric Mayhem. And that's why they're there. And then it says you'll join. This is from Disney Food Blog, sharing some information on what the ride is. It says you'll join the Electric Mayhem on their way to the biggest Hollywood gig ever. But the band is missing. Inside G-Force Records, now under Muppet management, Scooter's uncle J.P. Gross has set up a brand new studio to help them make some sweet Muppet music. So that's basically the storyline. And I can't play the audio for the video on here because I don't have it set up to do that. But essentially, Kermit and Fozzie came out and did some talking to Josh D'Amaro. And it was pretty good. So that one's from Walt Disney World News Today. Then I have a different video from Disney Food Blog with concept art and everything. Make sure you guys are following both of those. Those are where I get all of my news, and they are very active. So super good stuff. I believe the video that All Ears posted, or not All Ears, sorry, Disney Food Blog posted was from Disney, but I could be wrong. It may have been one they did. Oh, it is one they did. Sorry, that was a different one I was thinking. Then we also got a first look at the new ride vehicles coming for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin revamp over at Magic Kingdom. And that's honestly, they look really good compared to what we had. They look more like Buzz's like uniform, his Space Ranger uniform. So they're gray with a lot of green and then the purple accent instead of being that weird blue and green sort of half orb thing, I would call it. But yes, this is also posted up by Disney Food Blog. And honestly, I feel like this could be done way faster than anyone is expecting it to, perhaps. But I'm really excited for the new movability of the guns and the more interactive like shooting targets and everything, and how they change colors based on who shot them. Because like I rode Space Ranger Spin. Actually, I think me and Adriana rode Astro Blasters in Disneyland, and like you would shoot the laser at a thing and you wouldn't have any idea if it was actually you who shot it until you looked at your points to see if they went up. But this is really cool because it will actually be telling you that you are the one who hit it. So I'm excited about that. And I did mention in last week's podcast that I feel like this ride doesn't need to exist because of Toy Story Mania. This reimagining of the ride may very well change my mind on that and revert me back to it, but we'll see. I'm hopeful for it. But I'm also a sucker for anything new, so, you know. Right on. That was August 21st. Also on August 21st, we got the first look at the new Big Thunder Mountain Railroad concept art, and that's supposed to be opening next year. It looks like we have Rainbow Caverns as like the first lift hill, I believe, which is a callback to the original Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland that was in Disneyland Park when it not when it first opened, I don't think, but shortly after opening. There was the Rainbow Caverns there, and that is actually where Big Thunder Mountain sits now in Disneyland, and so they're doing a callback to that in Magic Kingdom. But that's when everything goes wrong, and the haunted cavern, some lightning crashes, and the haunted cave releases the hauntings or whatever, something along those lines. It looks really cool, but that's the only confirmed changes that we have. I am still of the belief that we're getting the dynamite scene at the end, the same one that they have in Disneyland, but I don't know. They haven't actually said that I know of. So we'll keep waiting. I'm excited to see what happens with Big Thunder because it is one of my favorite rides in Magic Kingdom when it's open anyhow. Anywho, moving on August 21st as well. I believe this was it wasn't D23, Destination D23. It was like an event they did before it where they just announced a whole bunch of park stuff. But they released new details from the Mandalorian and Grogu overlay to Smuggler's Run in Disney World, and lots of new concept art. Essentially, the new overlay will allow you to choose your own destination, where the engineer gets to pick where they go, where the crew goes. And on the journey, we'll team up with Mando and Grogu and Hondo to track down adventures across the galaxy. How fun! I am excited for this because this is like Smuggler's Run operates off of a gaming engine. So it's actively rendering all of its scenes as you're riding the ride, which is amazing. And basically what they're doing now is what I thought it always should have been, because that's exactly the technology they're using. It's a ride, but you're also playing a giant video game, and I am here for it. I really can't wait for this overlay to happen. And I believe, May 22nd, 2026. So you can rest assured I will be in the parks shortly after that. I have to experience this. Awesome. Moving on. Then August 25th, we got some news about Spaceship Earth closing for a refurbishment. And it was, in fact, closed when I was there, so we didn't get to ride it. So unfortunately, we still don't have an opening date that I'm aware of. But hopefully it's before my next trip, which I'm aiming for November, but we'll see how that goes. But there's definitely room and need for refurbishment on there. And I don't know like exactly what they're doing, but the last time I went in April. Yes, in April, we went on Spaceship Earth and it stopped like 4 or 5 times while we were on the ride, which is kind of a lot. So I'm hoping this refurbishment will help reduce the number of stopping. Yes, I lost my train of thought in the middle of that sentence there, but hopefully it'll reduce the amount of stopping. I think that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Excuse me. Then we also got some updated photographs from what used to be Rivers of America and is now just kind of depressing. And I actually did get to see that firsthand as well, because they, surprisingly enough, don't have construction walls up around the Rivers of America area unless you're crossing the bridge heading towards like the queue for Tiana's or Big Thunder. There's walls over there, but there aren't walls all along Frontierland, where that walkway is. Like, I don't know what exactly it's called, the boardwalk almost. In Frontierland that goes in front of the river. There's no walls there, so you can see straight into the drained Rivers of America across to Tom Sawyer Island, which is interesting to me. But alas, I honestly didn't even care. Like, I thought I might like be a little sad to see Tom Sawyer Island closed and not being able to get to it, but I was like, whatever, we chillin'. There was enough other things closed in Magic Kingdom to be sad about that I didn't really care. But yeah, so they're underway. They have some work going on. I honestly wouldn't expect this until maybe 2027, and it'd be late 2027, if that. But we did get some really exciting news for me. So as we all know, Disneyland got their magic. What's it called? Oh no, Walt Disney Magical Life in Disneyland Park, which is sharing a theater with Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And so they have a Walt animatronic over in Disneyland, but we don't have one in Disney World. Well, not yet, that is, because Carousel of Progress is going to be getting a Walt animatronic as the introduction to the show, which is super exciting. I did see Carousel of Progress when I was there, and I started picturing what that intro would be like if it was Walt telling you like what the story was, how it came about, and all that good stuff. So that is super exciting. And there is no date yet for when they're going to close it to start the refurbishment, nor when it will reopen. But I'm excited for a Walt animatronic. And I'm hoping that this one, people keep saying that the one in Disneyland is a little bit weird. It doesn't quite look like Walt. But then other people are saying it's because it's modeled after Walt, like shortly before he passed away. So I'm hoping that the Walt we get here is more like World's Fair Walt, so he's a little bit younger. But we will see, as I've said probably about 1 billion times already. Then next we have the Tron Ares overlay on Tron Light Cycle Run. I did get to see that and ride it both during the day and at night. It is a very well done overlay without like having to redo a whole lot of stuff. Basically, it was just reprogramming lighting and doing a new voiceover, and they were able to really not completely change, but change a decent amount the actual like storyline for this ride. So I was a big fan of it, and I also really like the red lights. I was telling my mom that I think I like the red lights because I'm a Star Wars Darth Vader guy. You know, I like the red lightsaber a lot, so I think just red really pops, and I really dig it, especially on like a black motorcycle or light cycle. Looks super good, so I was into it. Yes. Then we got some new at Villains Land details, where we learned. What did we learn? I forgot. Andreas Deja, I'm probably saying that wrong. Disney legend, and the animator behind Gaston, Jafar, and Scar, is a consultant on the project, so that's really exciting. Let's see. There's some information there, but I don't know how relevant it is. It's not really any news about like what exactly is coming, other than that we have an animator who is responsible for these villains working directly with the Imagineers to make things happen. Yeah, showing off their bold personalities and rich backstories. Trying to nail the feel by traveling to Paris, Barcelona, and diving deep into the art styles. So that's fabulous. This one's kind of creepy. There's like some like it's almost organic matter making up the ceiling, and it's kind of spooky looking. So I'm excited for Villains Land. It's probably not going to be my favorite land, but we'll see what they make of it, and hopefully they can do a good job. Finally, this isn't the last one. There's a couple more. They are repainting Cinderella Castle, which is a thing that I didn't know I wanted. I didn't think about it much, but now that I keep seeing the concept art, I'm like, that like they're restoring it to its original paint scheme, which is like grays, creams, and that lighter blue on the roofs, and of course the gold as well still. But that is the Magic Kingdom castle that I grew up with. The pinkish and more bluish gray with the very vibrant blue roof is more of 50th anniversary, and they've left it for quite some time. So it'll be a nice refresh to go back to its original look, and I think it's going to look very gorgeous in photos, and I can't wait for that either. I thought it said when they were painting it, but it does not, so that's okay. We'll move on. We also have gotten our official closing date for the rest of Dinoland USA, which is February 2nd of 2026. So if you are a big fan of Dinosaur, and I believe it's all of it. It could just be the attraction though. This just says the attraction. So make sure you get there by February 1st to ride it one last time. I've got to be completely honest. When I was just there, we went to Animal Kingdom long enough to ride Flight of Passage, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and get a pass holder magnet, and I was out of there. So I didn't go over there. I think I may have ridden it for the last time. But But it'll depend. Like I said, there's a possibility of a trip in November, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. Then we have some information about other places that have closed, specifically the Boneyard. The Boneyard in Disney's Animal Kingdom has officially closed, and that was as of September 2nd. And that's to make space for Pueblo Esperanza, the new land featuring attractions inspired by Encanto and Indiana Jones. The Boneyard is probably the one thing over there that closed that I have absolutely zero attachment to, because it was a kids' play area and I didn't ever play in that area. And it has been removed from the map, so that whole section back there is literally just like empty. There's like Dino Bites, Restaurantosaurus. I think there's a, what is it? There's the walking trail and then dinosaur, but it's mostly just like trees and grass on the map, so that's freaking wild. But I really hope that this land is as beautiful as the concept art shows it is, because it looks like an oasis, and I would love to have something so vibrant and lush in Animal Kingdom and give me something new to look forward to going to Animal Kingdom, because it's literally, like I said, not my favorite park. So then we also got some more progress for Villains Land, where they have cleared a good amount of land on the backside of Big Thunder and all the other warehouses and everything that's hiding back there. They got a decent amount of land cleared, so this looks like it's going to be a fairly large land. But yeah, they are definitely hard at work. And unfortunately, for those of you listening, you can't really see what I'm looking at here. But again, just follow Disney Food Blog, and they will post the pictures, and you can see them a lot easier over there. Let's see. I think that's it, actually. That's really all we've got for the last month, which is a lot of information, don't get me wrong, but not as much as I thought there was going to be completely honest. But anywho, I think that's going to do it for us today. There is no extended segment here for Mickey's Neck of the Woods, because that was what's going on in Mickey's Neck of the Woods for the whole episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the information, and if you have your own thoughts or opinions on any of the things I talked about today, make sure you leave a comment down below if you're listening on Spotify or if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on one of the other audio podcast platforms, you can send us a message over on Instagram or leave a comment on one of our shorts over there. And tell us what you think. Speaking of socials, you can follow us on our social media pages at Noah Parker's World of Wonder on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast, you can find our live-streamed version that is live every Monday night around 8 p.m. By going to youtube.com/Noah Parker_channel. And if you are already here on YouTube, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that we can reach our goal of 1,000 by the end of the year. We're getting kind of close, but we're also getting kind of close to the end of the year, so it's go time. And then we also lost my train of thought there. If you are watching and you want the audio only version, you can find us over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and the other one. Dang, I lost it right at the end of that. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart Podcasts by just searching for Noah Parker's World of Wonder. Again, we do this every Monday night. The live stream is Monday night around 8 p.m., and then it is available on Tuesday mornings on the podcasting platforms. So make sure you follow us and set us up to get notified when we post new stuff. We'll be here next Monday, and I'm losing my train of thought. I'm tired. I think I'm ready to call it a night. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, my dear friends, let the wonder take hold. That's not the right button.